Hey guys, Barros and Ramos, and this Sunday, January 1st, Happy New Year. The Miami Dolphins will be facing the New England Patriots on the road at Gillette Stadium. Dolphins come into this game 8-7, 3-5 on the road. Meanwhile, the Patriots are 7-8 and 3-4 at home. This is probably the first time in a while that the Patriots have had a losing record at home this late into the season, and hopefully the Dolphins can capitalize on that. Before we get into any of the odds and whatnot, what odds over here over the shoulders? I know it's very, very hard to see. I'm trying to find a way to make it a lot more visible for you guys, but we'll find out. All right, so for the Miami Dolphins, we have some injuries. We have Justin Zimmer, defensive tackle, on injured reserve. Eric Fisher, offensive tackle, listed as doubtful for calf injury. Xavier Howard, cornerback, questionable for knee injury. River Craycraft is questionable for calf injury. Greg Little is listed as questionable, injury unlisted. And Bradley Chubb has an ankle injury, linebacker. He is listed as questionable. He also has a hand injury. His hand was clubbed up after during the Green Bay Packers game. Hopefully all that is all right. Alec Ingold, fullback, is questionable with a thumb injury, considered as a game-time decision. Tua is considered as out with his concussion. Unfortunate for the Dolphins, unfortunate for him. Hope all is well with Tua and his family. Toronto Armstead listed as questionable. No listed injuries, but he's been dealing with the toe injury, his pectoral injury. Hopefully, all is well and he can continue to help guide us into the playoffs. With that being said, let's talk about the team they're facing, the New England Patriots. Jack Jones, cornerback, is listed as injured reserve. That's a big blow for the Patriots. Jack Jones was blossoming into one of their top cornerbacks, and it sucks for the rookie to be out like that for them, but hopefully the Dolphins and Teddy can take advantage of that. Marcus Jones, cornerback rookie, is in a concussion protocol. Same type of thing with Jack Jones. Both of these guys are actually really good cornerbacks, good rookie cornerbacks, and both of them being out is a big dent to this New England Patriots secondary. Jalen Mills, same thing here, questionable with a groin injury. I'm pretty sure he'll play, but he's basically their slot corner right now. He'll probably be shifted to cornerback number 1, which is something Dolphins have probably circled around their depth chart and injury report, whatever you may want to say, game plan essentially. Tyquan Thornton, wide receiver, listed as questionable for knee injury. Hunter Henry is listed as questionable for knee injury. Ramondre Stevenson listed as questionable for ankle injury. Jonathan Smith is out with a concussion. Same thing for Devontae Parker. Jonathan Jones, cornerback, is listed as questionable. And that's pretty much it for the Patriots within the last 2 weeks. So, ESPN Match Predictor has the Miami Dolphins at 34.4% chance of winning to the New England Patriots 65.2%, and a tie at 0.4%. The odds are minus 2.5 on the spread for the Patriots, in favor of the Patriots. Money line plus 122 for the Miami Dolphins, minus 145 for the New England Patriots. Over under set at 41. Odds dramatically shifted once Tua was announced with his concussion, and then once he was confirmed as out, then that was the final nail in the coffin in terms of gambling odds. But if you're a betting man and you have faith in this Dolphins team, go ahead, bet them. Plus 122, that's not bad of a return, at least for the money line. Let's see. So weather at game time will be at 52 degrees in New England in Foxboro, Massachusetts, and kickoff is at 1 p.m. this January 1st, first day of the brand new year 2023. Hope you guys are enjoying it. The holiday season, and top of that, just enjoy tonight and New Year's. And we'll talk about some of the standings as is right now. So Buffalo is 12-3-3. Miami is 8-7. New England Patriots 7-8. Same thing for the New York Jets. Each team in the division has a chance at the playoffs. The only big thing is only one of them can pretty much get in. Currently, the Dolphins. Well, 2 of them can get in, the division winner and then the wildcard team. Dolphins are pretty much the only team holding a spot right now between all of them in terms of the playoff race. So Dolphins have the last seed, the 7th seed, at 8-7. They have the New England Patriots right on their tail. So this is going to be a very important game for the Miami Dolphins, whether they win or lose. If they lose, Patriots get the spot. And then the Jets, who knows what happens to them if they beat the Seattle Seahawks. Tennessee lost, so they're in a further position than everyone else. Raiders are still in it, but they just got rid of Derek Carr. Essentially, they said that he's no longer starting for them for the remainder of the season, and he's parted ways with them in terms of not going to the facility for the remainder of the season. So, lots of tough things going on there for them. Now, with that being said, the only teams that realistically have a chance are Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, Steelers to get a playoff spot. I don't think this Tennessee Titans team makes it. Even they have to win against the Jacksonville Jaguars next week and hope that the Jaguars lose this week. So those are some things to be looking out for in terms of the playoff standings. Everyone else has pretty much either secured the division or has secured themselves a playoff spot. So with that being said, let's just talk about this game. There's no Tua. It's not a good look for the Dolphins. The future with Tua playing for the Dolphins this season, very uncertain. Will he be able to play for the playoffs? No one knows at this moment. That is the best possible scenario, is that Tua can play for the Dolphins by the time playoffs come around. But that's a very slim shot of happening. First, the Dolphins have to get into the playoffs. And second of all, Tua has to be cleared to play, which it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to say so. He's suffered pretty much 3 concussions this year. First one against the Buffalo Bills, second one against the Cincinnati Bengals. Went a really long time between that one and suffering this latest concussion against the Green Bay Packers. So who knows exactly what the future holds for Tua at the quarterback position for the Miami Dolphins. But all we know is uncertain, and it sucks. Really hoping the best for him, and hopefully he could find a way to not suffer these so much. And this is not me like scolding Tua, being like, why are you so injury prone? This is a very serious injury. You know, he suffered 3 concussions within a single year. For the quarterback position, that's not a good thing. And in any position, it's not really a good thing. But more positions suffer it more often than not. The quarterback concussions just seem to be the worst because they get the most whiplash and so on and so forth. Other concussions, like with offensive linemen, you can pretty much say almost the offensive lineman gets concussed almost every single game because they're getting the most head-to-head contact. So that's one of the scariest things about that position. That being said, hope all is well with Tua. If the Dolphins get into the playoffs, will he play? Don't think so. I think the Dolphins will try to ride Teddy Bridgewater as far as they can and try to keep Tua safe and sound for hopefully next season, which is a huge damper on this Dolphins team because the whole team was built to succeed around Tua. And the fact of him being in and out of the lineup for a frequent amount of times this season has been very unfortunate, but this is something out of his control, and it's out of a lot of people's control. The biggest thing that could be controlled is evaluating these concussions, spotting them. You know, the whole rule changes started because of Tua's getting the concussion with the whole fiasco that happened between the Bills and Cincinnati Bengals game, and then the final nail in the coffin in terms of the whole new concussion protocol in the NFL was started because of that big concussion against Cincinnati Bengals. That being said, NFL has been slacking on that. Devontae Parker was about to line up for another play while Nelson Aguilar clearly noticed that he was having concussion-like symptoms. And then on top of that, there's a few others that we could list off. I'm just not going to really go too deep into it. I just hope that if you're going to implement something, stay true to it. Understand it. Try to enforce it. I know it all came about within the season, but that doesn't excuse the lack of execution that has happened. Because when Teddy went out against the New York Jets, that was one of the more fluky calls I've ever seen. But then you have guys like Devontae Parker lining up for another play, and he's clearly concussed. So, don't know what's going on there, and it's very unfortunate. So, hope NFL can get their stuff together in terms of protecting the players, because the players are what makes this league. It's not the teams themselves. It's not the owners. It's not the executives. It's not Roger Goodell. It's the players, and the players are the main priority. I know they fluctuate in or out almost every single year. The NFL has one of the largest turnovers of teams from year to year, but that doesn't change the fact that you got to protect these guys, and better their futures, because this is a real thing. This is someone's life that they're pretty much messing with. Now, with all that stuff out of the way, let's talk about how the Miami Dolphins can win this game against the New England Patriots, January 1st, 2023, Week 17. 2 more weeks, and then we'll find out the Dolphins' fate, whether or not they'll make the playoffs. So, defensively, we're going to start off with the defense here. If Ramondre Stevenson plays, gotta limit him. He is this focal point of the New England Patriots offense. I know that because he's carried my fantasy team. In all seriousness, this offense runs through Ramondre Stevenson. It's not really running through Mac Jones. They don't really have faith in Mac Jones. And the scheme is, short little dump offs, quick passes, and every now and then try to take a shot, but that hasn't really been part of the Patriots' identity this season. The more so it's been, just run game, give it to our running backs in the passing game, quick throws to our receivers like screens and low slants, and that's pretty much all it is for this Patriots offense from my evaluation. And so focus on the running backs, limit them. Secondly, put pressure on Mac Jones. Mac Jones has been horrible this season with pressure, and that's something that the Dolphins need to really get into and really show out there, because we've had injuries like Emmanuel Ogbah going down, but the pressure has always been there. It just needs to be finishing plays, bringing quarterbacks to the ground with the ball in their hands so he can get a sack, get negative yardage, stuff like that. Dolphins pressure would get there in a lot of plays throughout the season, but quarterbacks were just getting off the ball like right there as soon as our guys would get in there. So those are things that this defense needs to be concerned with, especially this team, because in the playoffs you want to be able to get that pressure and finish those plays out. Offensively, protect Teddy. We cannot afford another quarterback to go down. All right. I know Skylar Thompson will be suiting up for this game, but you don't want to have the same thing happen that happened in the Jets game, where Teddy goes out for one drive, boom, called with a concussion, boom, gets taken out. Like, if that happens again, I know the fix is in, like 100%. Protect Teddy and establish the running game. This Dolphins team has shied away from the running game in crucial moments, and especially in these last couple of weeks when you have a chance to establish a running game early to kind of predicate this passing game. But then you get too past that, and now you become too predictable, get yourselves in a hole. Now you are playing from behind, having to pass the ball all over the place when the defense knows you're passing the ball, and then they get to tee off on the quarterback. So this Dolphins team needs to stay more consistent with having a balanced play call sheet. I don't care if you run the ball, then pass the ball, then run the ball, or vice versa. Pass the ball, run the ball, pass the ball. There needs to be more running in this offense. This is how the system should work. I don't know why they are shying away from running the ball. I think they're getting a little too pass happy. Now with Teddy in the mix, I think they'll go back to more of a running style and use Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert a lot better. If that's the case, Dolphins have a solid chance of winning this game. And then on top of that, like I said, offensively, if they can protect Teddy, all the better. So the good news is this game, it won't be completely freezing. It was actually colder in Miami last week. But who knows with wind chill how really it might feel in New England. And that place does get windy. So special teams ball may not be going exactly where you're trying to take it to. So just be mindful of that. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully the Dolphins can bring in a new year with a step closer to securing themselves a playoff spot. And if they get a win this week, pretty much puts you in the driver's seat against the New York Jets next week, because you do not want to lose this game and then have a must-win game against the New York Jets in the final week of the season. As much as that sounds fun and dandy, you also give up a spot to the New England Patriots currently, because they'll have the tiebreaker over us, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, Dolphins cannot afford to lose this game, neither with next week's game. So those are some things to take into mind. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoy your New Year's, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow after the game. Peace.